Hey y'all, welcome back to my review for Dexter's New Blood, episode 4. So let's get into the episode. So the episode starts out with Dexter's talking to his sister, and they talk about how Dexter bumped into Matt's dad and how the dad was all like, I got the good news that my son's alive and stuff. So Dexter's is pretty much telling his sister how, he probably was in a state of delusion. You don't want to accept that his son's dead. And the sister's like, or probably he just want to dig. So she started breaking down, like, what would he do since he know that his son is dead? He wants to dig because she said, remember when he saw the video, how angry he was. So she had all these faces on the ground and stuff of the cop, Dexter, and everybody's pretty much involved with the whole situation. And she was like breaking it down as a cop, like he might take matters into his own hands. She's like, that's what you would do. Or he might kill the one person, or he might keep on digging and find out you actually the killer. So, I mean, his sister does make a point, because I would say our last episode when that guy killed that girl, it did give me like the vibes that Matt's father could be a killer, because especially looking at the eyes of the killer from last episode. So I don't know, because Matt's father, he got access to a lot of stuff, and honestly that whole town is creepy. That town is a place that killers usually go to, because there's too many motherfucking killers that live in that damn town. Like, Dexter went from Miami to this town, and it's about 5 fucking killers there. See, when you decide to live in the back of the woods, you're gonna find a whole bunch of killers. So now we go to Dexter's talking to his girlfriend, and he tells her that he talked to Kurt. And pretty much Kurt said that, his son was alive and his son has pretty much ran away. So the cop was all like, yeah, I can't believe, like, I kind of figured he probably, killed that buck and just ran. So everybody just think that Matt just ran to a whole different state for killing the damn buck. I'm like, so y'all just gonna stop researching the case because of that? Like, y'all still haven't saw Matt, like, y'all didn't FaceTime him. Y'all didn't see him in the living flesh. Like, how y'all just gonna like write this off? Because the father said, well, I saw him. Like Dexter's sister said, he might be trying to say this because he wants the cop to stop looking so he can go do his own investigation and probably take matters into his own hands. Because Matt's father is giving me killer. So yeah. Next thing you know, Dexter starts talking to his son. His son tells him that he makes the team, the wrestling team. So he all telling his father, like, yeah, I made a wrestling team and the coach that got like bulk up and stuff. So he's drinking this protein shake. And he tells Dexter, the other guys on the team are like fuck nuggies or something like that. And Dexter starts smiling like the Grinch. He's like, oh, your auntie used to say that. She's always say fuck nuggets and stuff. And Dexter's like, I can't believe you remember that. He said, I don't remember a lot, but I do remember her cussing a lot. So Dexter was just like happy and stuff. And he was all like, yeah, I miss my sister too. She's always in my head. It's like, she's always in my head all the time. And I'm like, yeah, because you're crazy. So you always have conversations with her. See, at this point, Dexter might actually be a medium, because he always seeing somebody dead in his damn family and talking to him. So, okay, so now we get into Matt's father. Okay, Kirk. So he's at the police station and he's talking to Dexter's girlfriend, the cop. So he's all telling her, like, yeah, my son called me. We had a FaceTime and, he was in some hotel in New York or something like that. And she like listening to him. So she's like, did he look bruised? Like, did he have like, wounds or something? And Kirk was like, wounds? I mean, I don't remember. He just, I was just happy to see my son. So she like, okay, that's cool and all, but I'm gonna need Playboy to call me. And he all like, when I talked to him, he looked like he was high off or something. So it's like, okay. Kurt, Matt's daddy is into some shenanigans because he is over here trying to say a bald face lie like he damn near killed Matt. So, the cop lady, Angela is looking very confused. So she pretty much told him in so many words, like, he's gonna have to call me or something like that so I can close this case, because I need to know that he's lying. He needs to call me, FaceTime something, because I need to close the case, because we stay here and open the case up. Everybody's in the business, so we need to close this. And on top of that, he needs to deal with the whole killing the deer. And then she wanted to know who was in the woods with him and who hit who. So she's like still like not believing this bullshit. She feel like these are incomplete stories. So yeah, Kurt, Matt's daddy, he into some shenanigans. Matt's dad leave, and this podcaster chick comes here and she's talking to Angela, and I guess old girl that slept with the one cop in the office, a black guy. But yeah, she pretty much asked Angela the same thing. We thinking like, how he gonna disappear? And then like all of a sudden we've been searching for him, and also he just popped back up, but we ain't had no FaceTime, no call time. And it's like, okay, is the daddy trying to cover something? Like, what's going on? Like, this doesn't make no sense. So Angela's all like, listen, girl, if you don't leave, I'm gonna arrest your motherfucking ass, because you asked too many goddamn questions like you a goddamn reporter. But you know, being a podcaster is closer to the next thing of being a damn news anchor. Shit, I report the news all the time, which is wacky retrograde news, but you can catch it on my YouTube channel, Navia Soul Network. But back to the show. This is just crazy. This is crazy. The podcaster lady leaves, and then Angela talks to the one cop, the black guy, and she's like, listen, you need to go run his credit cards. But he's still trying to talk about how he trying to cover that he slept with this reporter lady. And it's like, child, we don't care that you slept with that damn girl. All I know is that when y'all sleeping, y'all better not have pillow table talk. I said pillow table talk. Pillow talk. Because I know how you men like to get when y'all get in the bed with people. Y'all start rubbing our mouth. So she pretty much told him, like, I don't give a fuck who you fucking, but you need to go run them credit cards, because Matt is supposed to be staying at some hotel in New York. So we need to know what he asked so we can track him down. So, yeah, she not letting up on this case. Hold on, wait a minute. We getting pervert vibes in this bitch. So let's get into this. So now we're going to Dexter, and Dexter's pumping gas, but he pretty much is following Matt's father, Kurt. So he's all like, in his head, like, poor bastard, I don't know why he lied like that, and da-da-da. And it's like, Dexter, how you gonna have sympathy for him when you the motherfucker that killed his son? So he's sitting there watching him, right? And next thing you know, while he pumping gas, he see Kirk, Matt's father, get up and start talking to this real young girl. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, we getting pervert vibes. Why he talk to her? Because what's with y'all old motherfuckers in this town talk to these damn 17-year-olds and 15-year-olds? Because he was sitting there, first of all, Matt's daddy was posted up on the wall like he was in fucking junior high school or some shit. Try to talk to his little girl. So Dexter, like, paying attention, like, that's kind of weird. That's weird. So I feel like Kirk, Matt's father, is that killer guy, because he was short talking to that young girl like Lovely Bones. So yeah, we're gonna have to get more into Matt's father, because something ain't right there. Now we get into Dexter's son, Harrison. So Harrison is looking at this one girl's podcast, Mary fucking killed a little podcaster girl. And he finds an episode that she did about the guy that killed his mama, the Trinity killer. I think that's his name. I can't stand this motherfucker. So she's all like explaining how this guy was killing all these dumb females, but his last kill was a rogue one, which he killed Harrison's mother, and how her, how he killed her, and the baby was in a pool of her blood like Dexter was in his mama. So it's like, it's lining up to how Dexter came when Dexter came. So he listened to this, and it's kind of triggering, because that's his mama. So he's having these, he feeling real upset. But that right there, when that guy killed his mother, that was definitely like a shocker. I was like, damn. And the thing is about that guy that killed the mother, Dexter already know he was a killer, and I didn't know why. I forgot, why did Dexter not kill that man before he even got to that level? Like, because Dexter kept on fooling around with him like there was good Judies or something. But yeah, Harrison, and I hate podcasts that like do, or this channels that do about murders and stuff. I can't stand. I don't know how y'all can talk about all this heinous stuff and people murdering people. Like, it's such a spooky vibe, and they try to make it so like pretty, like, hey y'all, welcome back, and we're gonna talk about how this motherfucker killed 5 fucking females. Yay! It's just like, how you happy to report on this stuff? Like, this stuff is a tragedy. Like, that's America for you. But Dexter is at his job, and he gets a call from his girlfriend, an alert that something happened at the school and somebody's injured and Harrison's injured. So Dexter runs to the school. He gets to school. The cop is in there. He sees that they will not the little boy Ethan, the little nerdy boy, and he goes in there and he sees Harrison has been stabbed. So the paramedics is putting the clean his wound and stuff. So Angela, because she looked irritated as fuck. She, today's been very obnoxious for her. She asks Harrison, like, what happened? And Harrison tells her how Ethan was talking about he wanted to plan to come back to school and kill some of the kids, and how he wants to bring guns and stuff, and he wanted Harrison to help him, shoot the kids. Harrison says no. Harrison said that maybe we should go and talk to the teacher. Like, I understand why you're upset because you're getting bullied, but you don't need to do all that. So he said, out of nowhere, Ethan take a knife and lunge right at him. And I'm looking at Harrison, And I ain't a cop. But it's just something about Harrison I don't trust. It's just very odd that earlier scene, he's watching that video of that guy and he was angry. And all of a sudden, Ethan, first of all, Harrison know how to fight. Ethan, like, he got stabbed the fuck up. Because Ethan's leg was stabbed. Harrison got stabbed to the side. But Harrison's over here standing up talking. Ethan the one knocked the fuck out. So my thing is, Harrison is very, he's sneaky. Harrison kind of raised himself. People forget that. See, Dexter his father raised him when he first found Dexter in a pool of blood. Dexter left Harrison for a while. Harrison's 16, 17. Harrison pretty much raised himself. And then he was in that weird ass country, Argentina, by his fucking self. So my thing is, Harrison it's more than me style with him, and he's a little liar. He's a real liar. So yeah, I don't even trust that. I tell you, Harrison got the waterworks out, baby. He got the tears. He trying to come for that goddamn EGOT award, okay? He trying to come for that Oscar. So, next thing you know, the cops go look through Ethan's bag, the little nerdy boy's bag, and they see his little sketchbook with all the drawings. So, they looking through it, and he has a kill list of all the students that he want to kill. He has, like, their names, and he draw them out, how he has blood all sketched over their face and stuff. So, I'm like, okay, this little boy is weird. It's weird, but I don't trust Harrison. Ethan is weird, and Ethan did want to kill him because he did express that to Harrison. But when he showed Harrison them pictures, Harrison was not concerned like that, like he is right now. Harrison is playing games, and he is as sneaky as his daddy. I don't trust that little boy. So now we go back to Dexter's house, and he talking to Harrison. And Harrison's like, I'm just replaying, Ethan trying to run at me and stab me with a knife. And he asks Dexter, like, how do you deal with, like, things that bother you, traumas? And Dexter says in his head, I kill bad guys and wrap them up in plastic. And he said, I just don't know. Harrison playing mind games. Harrison has sat here and watched that podcast about that guy killing his mother, which was Dexter's wife, and which is, that was the mother of his child. Okay, right? Because my thing is, when that incident happened, when Dexter's wife died like that, Dexter disappeared. And that's a part of a trauma. Harrison know his father's lying to him. He knows more than me since because Harrison's a big liar too. So he knows how to read body language. Harrison is just trying to get Dexter to admit to something. He's trying to get him to admit that he a fucking killer. Or he's trying to get him to admit about that incident that happened with his mother. Harrison plays games. That little boy playing mind games. Dexter ended up killing that guy that killed his wife, though. So he pretty much told him how he deal with trauma. He go kill people. Dexter's talking to his sister again, and she's all telling Dexter, like, I don't know how you can have a relationship with your son when he seems the polar opposite of you. Like, he's perfect, he's popular, he's a hero. I don't know how you got a relationship with him. I'm like, no, those are called fronts. That's a mask. Harrison is Dexter. He's just Dexter's, like I said, is Batman, and his son is Batman Beyond. That's their relationship. He's just an upgraded version. Dexter, it was cleaning Harrison's room the next day, and he tells, Harrison, I can stay home with you because the school closed. And Harrison's like, no, you good. So then Dexter started asking questions like, so the way you say you said that Ethan charged at you, right? Charged at you. He's like, yeah. He said, what hand was it, left or right? He was like, I don't fucking know. He fucking stabbed me. He's my friend. So Harrison gets mad, and he ends up leaving because he's like, you're interrogating me. And Dexter's like, oh, my bad. I know, you're going through a lot. So he ends up leaving, and Dexter started talking to his sister. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? He said, the stab wounds that he had doesn't add up to the story that he told Angela. And I was saying the same thing. Harrison, the way he was explaining the story was so, like, fake. Like, it just felt like he was not telling the truth. It's just the stab wounds was not, like, one's on the side and Ethan had one on the leg. It's just all over the place. Like, it's just like, baby, you not lying to me, you lying to yourself. Especially lying to Dexter, who's a killer, and he's a forensic person. So he already knows the whole body position that it look like when somebody come attack you. So it's just not adding up. You gotta remember, Dexter's the OG. He's Batman, okay? Batman Beyond always needed Batman. Even though Batman Beyond was like upgraded version of Batman, but Batman still had that wisdom on his side because he been doing it longer than Batman Beyond. So yeah, that's Dexter to Harrison. Now we going back to Harrison. Harrison ends up going to the hospital to go see Ethan. When he gets there, Ethan's parents are there. and then pretty much, told Harrison like he could have lost a lot of blood, he could have died, but because of this incident, he could probably be going to juvie when Ethan wakes up. And on top of that, they're gonna have to sell their house and move out of this country that they at, this hick town that they at, because they getting death threats and all types of stuff. And the mother said she got to sell her shop, and because nobody would buy nothing from her shop, and she was just going off of Harrison like, why don't you just told me that he was having these thoughts? It's like, girl, that's your motherfucking child. You should know what the fuck your child is doing. Why is it his responsibility to tell you what your child is doing? That's your fucking child. He came out your punani, girl. Don't come at me nasty like, even though Harrison's full of shit. But yeah, you should know what your child is doing. You should know your child was getting bullied. So they pretty much tell Harrison, we don't ever want to see you again. So, it is what it is. So now we're going back to, so Dexter is at the cop place, okay? He at the police station, and he's just like, pretty much talking to Angela, pretty much about the whole case thing about his son getting stabbed. And Angela's like, you sure you want, because when he came in the office, he saw pictures of the gun, the knife, all types of shit. This boy had guns and knives all in the house and everything. So she's like, you sure you want to look at that? He was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, because, Audrey could have been a victim too. So her daughter hears that. She's like, what? I could have been a victim? And she's like, you're not supposed to be here. It's like, girl, you said that shit right out. You said that shit so loud that she was going to hear her. I mean, she was in the office. She was right outside your door. So she comes in there, and Audrey's like, I decided to know if I was going to be a victim. So then she sees like this book of all the kids that he was planning to kill and stuff. And she just pretty much told her daughter to leave. But she didn't see that her daughter took the pictures of it. So I guess the daughter gonna post the pictures online with her little hard head ass. So next, Dexter just has a weird feeling about the whole situation. He just feel like Harrison is lying to him. So and then he ends up telling Angela that that the picture of the knife they have and the guns, well, he sold that to Ethan's father months ago. He remembered selling to him. So that's what he came to tell her. But he was looking at the pictures because he wanted to get a good look and description just to add up with his story or what's his conclusion of what happened in that day with his son and Ethan, and how that day went like, and how his son's stab wounds ain't adding up to the story he told Angela earlier in the episode. So Dexter goes back to the school to look at the whole crime scene and what happened to Harrison and Ethan that day, because the story's not adding up. So he's here with his sister, and they kind of recreating the scene of Ethan and Harrison incident with the whole fight. So pretty much the blood splatter don't match up to the blood splatter that's on the ground. I mean, especially if he's running right directly at Harrison, the blood would have splattered the other way instead of splattering forward or whatever. So Dexter's sisters are like, you just don't want to accept that he's a hero and he's cooler than you and da-da-da. It's like, girl, you know damn well your nephew's a fucking liar and he's a killer, okay? He's just Batman Beyond, and Dexter is Batman. But Dexter got more wisdom, and he got more history with doing this stuff. So he gonna outsmart him because he got that age on his side. So she pretty much like, and she knows this shit. She don't want to accept this, but you know that this is Dexter. She's in his head. So this is Dexter fighting himself. Like, you over here being paranoid, but your son's living a quote-unquote life that you wanted. You wanted to be the cool boy. You wanted to have friends. You wanted to be that girl, that boy. But you wasn't. You was that weirdo. But then Dexter has decided him when he's a detective. He's like, the story that his son told him ain't adding up. And only person that always know their children the best is the parent, because the children came from your nutsack, nigga. So that's what's going on with this problem. He know that his son's capable of lying, and he's a little bit good at it because he's by himself. Dexter didn't raise him. This is a kind of a complete stranger. They have a stranger relationship. He didn't raise Harrison. So yeah, he's just sitting here fighting himself with, wow, my son is just like me, but am I low-key hating on him? Am I hating on him? Am I the villain? Am I the one hating on him? Because I didn't have a life started yet? I feel like Dexter had a bad life to him, because Dexter, at least, he was raised by his father, and he had a family. Harrison was left by himself, but I feel like he killed Hannah. I do feel like he killed Hannah. But yeah, but pretty much, Harrison pretty much framed that little boy Ethan. Dexter felt like Harrison stabbed Ethan, and he framed him. And he's making like Ethan was the one that wanted to hurt him and wanted to shoot the school up, because Ethan had all them pictures and drawings that he drew of the kids, which that was just weird by his fucking self. But yeah, Dexter, Dexter's Batman and Harris's Batman Beyond. So Ethan was the one trying to get away. So Harrison, because he stabbed Ethan, decided to stab himself to kind of sell the story that Ethan was the one that tried to come and stab him. So I told you, Daddy knows best and Daddy knows his child. You're going back to Dexter. So in the middle of Dexter talking to Harrison, kind of like adding up that his son's a killer, Mr. Krabs come knocking on the door because Mr. Krabs wants to come and he wants to give a gift to Harrison because Harrison's supposed to be a hero, right, for saving the town. So Dexter's like, thanks, I gave him the gift, and Mr. Krabs like, no, I want to shake his hand, I want to give him a gift personally, I want to give him the gift, I want to give it to him. So Dexter said, sure, come in and see him. So he ended up getting Harrison this little droid thing. Android or droid, little robot thing that you fly in the sky to spy on people. Kind of interesting because last episode, old boy had them Gidget gadgets in his house. Mr. Krabs, who is a killer. So Dexter, Harrison's like, thanks, Mr. Kirk and all that stuff. Thanks, Mr. Krabs. That's Mr. Krabs to me. That is Mr. Krabs. All I can see is Mr. Krabs. So from SpongeBob. So he tells Dexter like, yeah, you got a good kid, and he's the polar opposite for my son. My son's a fuck up, and he was all like, I thought he would grow out being a fuck up, but he never did. And Dexter said in his head like, your son had a darkness, and you just didn't want to check it. You know that. And like I said, and it's very funny, two fathers with these sons that have these hidden secrets inside of them, and these, they are very dangerous. These two fathers are two dangerous sons. And they know what their sons are capable of because guess what? Guess where they got it from? Their daddies. Dexter's a killer. Mr. Krabs a killer. Both of them got danger inside of them. Both of them can do some evil shit. So why wouldn't the son or the offspring not have the same qualities as the parent? So yeah. So Dexter over here talking to this damn man. Dexter getting rusty, honey. So they talking about kids, and Mr. Krabs is pretty much saying Matt's a fuck up, and he pretty much flaming the fuck out his kid. But it's like, if that's your kid, so that means you fuck up too, because he came from you. So they talking, and then Dexter slipped and said he didn't mean to crash that boat. And Mr. Krabs turned around and looked at him like, he didn't crash the boat. What are you talking about? And Dexter's like, oh, my girlfriend's the chief of police. He asked, like, how do you know that? Well, my girlfriend's chief of police, and not to throw nobody on the bus, but Esther's a gossip. So he's looking at Dexter like, oh, okay. And then Dexter's like, he was teenagers do crazy things. And the father gonna say he wasn't a teenager. And Dexter gonna say in his head, yeah, I know he wasn't a teenager, but Dexter's kind of trying to mess it up to not make it like, how do you know this about my son? Because you're gonna start putting two together. And Dexter sat up here and pretty much took the bait. Dexter should have shut the hell up. So Dexter's definitely getting rusty. So yeah. It's not. Dexter gets a call from his girlfriend. He's at the police station. She tells him that, they're not going to charge Harrison, the killer, of charges of stabbing Ethan because that's self-defense. So she was all, and then she told Dexter, she talked to Ethan, and Ethan said that Harrison stabbed him, and then he just passed out. That's all you remember. And she was like, I try to have compassion for him, but he's a trouble kid. And Dexter just sitting there like, yeah, you think he's trouble? No, my son's the trouble kid. That's bold. He done fucked up that little boy's life, which Ethan was a little weirdo, but he fucked up his life because it was actually Harrison that did it, because Harrison wanted to taste the rainbow. He wanted to taste the blood like his daddy. And he done set up here, ruined his boy's life, and kind of ruined his family's life because now they got to move out the town. And his girlfriend's like, do you want to get a lawyer, have a civil case, sue them, da-da-da. And Dexter's like, listen, they've been through a lot, let's just let it go, because Dexter knows the truth. So she's all like, wow, Jim, you're such a good person. I don't know if I could have that, have empathy like that or sympathy for that little boy. I don't know, but you're a good person. It's like, no, I ain't a good person, motherfucker. I just know bullshit. I just know bullshit when I see it. So Dexter ended up leaving, and, so they end up closing the case. So the podcaster and old girl, Angela, are going to form an alliance to help, I guess, find missing girls. So we're going to call them Inspector Gadget and Penny. And because the one girl, so the podcaster girl ended up posting a picture of some girl missing, and her followers found the girl and stuff at Dollar Tree. She changed her name and everything, but it's still other girls that are missing because she posted them too, and nobody can find nothing, nobody can censor none of that, so they are missing. So her and Angela, I guess, are gonna form alliance to pretty much help find missing girls. And it's a good alliance because Angela's a detective, but she need more resources, and the podcast girl has a following, a cult following, and when it comes to social media, anybody can find everything now. So I think that's a good idea. It might help her because she in a small ass town, and they don't use the internet. So girl, go do it. Let's go back to Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs at his job. One of the workers at his job come in his office and said it's some girl here, she wants to see him. So he comes out there and he talks to the girl. And this girl was in the clip earlier in the episode when Dexter was following him. And I guess he gave her some money for bus fare, but something happened and she spent it on something, and she don't have no more money for bus fare, and she just came back to ask him for some more money. So he's all like, nah, I can give you a job as a waitress or something like that. But my thing is, why are you giving her money? Like, it's giving me very Lovely Bones. It's giving me older pervert man trying to will in young girls and stuff. He's giving me the killer from the last episode we watched. Yeah, Matt's father's a fucking killer, or should I say Mr. Krabs. And that's funny. He plays Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob, and he owns a restaurant. He's the owner of a restaurant, like Mr. Krabs. That's funny. So, y'all. Okay, so now we get to the school, and they having a whole little conference thing, and Harris is up here acting like he brave for her, so he's all telling all the people, like, I don't feel bad for y'all, because y'all did bully Ethan, but he's just explaining how we all have different sides to ourselves, da-da-da. So now we get into the meat and the potatoes. So Matt's father, Mr. Krabs, is a killer, because he took that one girl he talked to early in the episode that was at the diner to his little log place for her to stay, and that's the same place that one girl from the last episode was at that he ended up killing. So now we go into Dexter. After that, we go to Dexter. Dexter's searching all through Harrison's room to find a weapon that he used to stab Ethan, which was a razor, which is the same type of razor, the same type of weapon the guy that killed his mother used to kill her. In the same way he was born in blood like Dexter was. So yeah, child, this episode was really good. Episode 4 was good. I don't like how it's speeding up, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on, okay? Harrison's a killer. Dexter's finding out his son's just like him. And we end up finding out who is the killer in town, which is Matt's father. That's why Matt was up and down the street acting crazy and stuff, because his father's too damn busy hunting and stalking little girls like he on Lovely Bones. Old killing ass motherfucker. And then, yeah, that's really it for this episode. And I think Angela's going to find out a lot about those girls because that podcaster girl's going to end up helping her. So yeah, this was a good review, and make sure y'all subscribe, like, and you know the vibes. So yeah, this episode was really good. So thanks guys, and bye.